bring to you the continuation of the fairy tale, The Frog Prince, or The Frog Prince Continued. The prince will be played by Luca, his princess, Hannah, the three equally hideous witches will be performed by Clarissa and Jay, and I, Maya, am the narrator. We all know the fairy tale, well, the prince kissed a frog. He turned into a prince, and they lived happily ever after. Or did they? Did anyone check? Does anyone know for sure? Well, let's just say they lived sort of happily for a long time. Okay, so maybe they weren't so happy. In fact, they were miserable.
Stop sticking your tongue out like that! How come you never want to go down to the pond anymore? I would prefer that you not hop around on the furniture, and it might be nice if you got to the castle once in a while to slay a dragon or a giant or whatever.
I don't feel like slaying anything. I just feel like running away. But here in my book, it says they lived happily ever after. The end. So I guess I better stick around.
So he stayed in the castle and drove the princess crazy.
First you keep me awake all night with your horrible cooking store. Now I find a lily pad in your pocket. I can't believe I even kissed your slimy frog lips. Sometimes I think we'd both be better off if you're still a frog.
Still a frog? Yes, that's it.
I know I told you to get out of the castle once in a while, but how rude of you to run off innocent while I'm still talking to you. Okay, well, maybe I was yelling. It was more of a hop than a run, but still, how rude! He better not come back tonight with soggy sneakers again, or he'll definitely be spending the night on the couch.
The prince hadn't gone far when he ran into just the person he was looking for.
Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch, I was wondering if you could help me.
You sure you're not looking for a field sleep?
Oh no, I've already been kissed. I was actually hoping you could turn me back into a frog.
That's funny. You don't look like a frog. Well, not matter. You're a prince, you're a prince. Now, I'll have to cast a nasty spell. I can't have any princess waking up sitting beauty before the 100 years are up.
No, I'm the Frog Prince!
The prince didn't stick around to see which nasty soul the witch had in mind. He ran deeper into the forest until he soon came to a strange-looking house with a witch outside.
Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch. I was wondering if you could help me. I'm a frog.
And you're the frog prince. I'm the king of France.
No, I'm not a frog. I'm the Frog Prince. And I need a witch to turn me back into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Can you do it?
Oh, yes, come on, Santa. Maybe I can fit you in for lunch.
The prince eyed the witch suspiciously. Something about the tone of her voice made his flesh crawl. The prince stopped and looked around. His surroundings seemed vaguely familiar. He broke off a piece of the doorknob and tasted it.
Miss Witch, I hope you don't mind me asking, do you happen to know any children by the name of Hansel and Gretel?
Why, yes. I'm expecting them for you.
The prince, as he said before, knows his fairy tales, and he ran as fast as he could into the forest. He soon became hopelessly lost. He saw someone standing next to a tree. He walked up to her, hoping she wasn't a witch, for he'd quite had his fill of witches.
Gosh, do you need it? You're the worst looking frog I've ever seen.
Madam, I'm the Frog Prince. I was wondering if you could help me.
Well, I'm on my way to see a girl in the village about going to a ball, but I suppose I could give it a try. I've never done frogs before, you know.
And with that, the fairy godmother waved her magic wand and turned the prince into a beautiful carriage. The prince couldn't believe his rotten luck.
Oh, what an idiot!
The sun went down, the forest grew spooky, and the prince became more and more frightened.
Oh, what an idiot I've been! I could be sitting at home with the princess, but instead I'm in this stupid forest and a stupid carriage, and I'll probably just rot and fall apart, and live unhappily ever after.
instantly turned back into his former self. And he ran by the light of the moon until he was safe inside his own castle.
Where have you been? You're 7 hours late, your clothes are torn, and your dinner's cold. And I missed you so much.
The prince looked at the princess who had believed him when no one in the world had. The princess who had actually kissed his slimy frog lips. The princess who loved him. The prince leaned in and kissed the princess. They both turned into frogs and they hopped off happily ever after. The real